Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
A $15 million investment is made to support students in trades.
More students coming through, going into the trades, becoming more experienced electricians right off the bat.
Loblaws freezes prices on no-name products in response of growing inflation.
Our wages aren't going up, but groceries are, so yeah, we got two hungry little kiddos to feed.
As flu season approaches, pharmacies are encouraging Edmontonians to get their vaccines.
So the mutations changes and so the virulence. So that's the reason it's very essential to take vaccine every year.
NewsWatch starts now.
The cost of keeping a roof over your head is getting higher and higher these days.
That's right, Zach. A recent Canadian report says there is a demand for houses, but not enough people to build them. Nigel Gale joins us live from the carpentry shop here at NAIT.
That's right, folks. So we're looking at the many potential students that are looking at NAIT and SAIT are looking at this with a mountain of financial debt. We're seeing a shortage of skilled laborers, which is leading to housing costs going up. And so we have a big name in the home building industry here in this province that's taking on that challenge.
Today, I'm pleased to announce the next phase of this initiative.
Jamin Built Chairman and CEO Jay Westman announces a $15 million investment campaign to support students in the trades.
This isn't about having enough capital or having about enough land or complaining about municipal governments not giving us approvals. It's simply about we haven't got the labor to build the housing. I just looked at it and said we can do this, and we're doing it.
This comes after a report from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. The report found that the workforce would have to double to meet the demand and keep prices within reach of potential home buyers.
And the key is got to make it affordable. Like, people only make so much money.
I've actually received a scholarship last year, which has incredibly helped me and my family get through these tough times with going to school.
So having more students, especially with this great opportunity that was provided for us with the funding, we'll have a lot more students coming through, going into the trades, becoming more experienced electricians right off the bat.
Westman encourages industry peers and community leaders to match funds raised to establish the Build Alberta Scholarships for Construction Careers initiative. Westman donated $2 million of his own money. $7 million has been committed with donations by industry partners like Anthem Properties and Homes by Avi. The initiative is planned to fund approximately 3,000 awards to SAIT and NAIT apprenticeships. Eligible students will be in the residential construction field, such as painters, cabinet makers, and glaziers.
This scholarship will really help motivate me to want to finish and move forward into my career as a glazer. Really helps push me to do what I need to do.
A portion of the funds will be dedicated to engaging high school students and enhanced skilled trades development in the province.
Mr. Westman does remain very optimistic about the future of Alberta. He says that the lowest tax rates here in the country are going to continue to attract businesses, job creation, and that the population will continue to grow.
So, Nigel, you mentioned the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation report. Does the report have a timeline until they say we're out of this affordable housing crisis?
Yes, Zach. So the report takes a look at the current rate of houses that are going up. And so the timeline, the year that they're looking at is 2030. And they're saying that by 2030, the rate of houses going up is going to have to increase by 18%.
And with the current amount of $7 million raised, how many students would that help?
So yes, as you mentioned, right now we're at 7 million. That is projected to help 1,400 students. However, with Mr. Westman upping the ante to 15 million, that is going to double the amount of students at 3,000.
So, Nigel, what are some of the other trades that fall under this residential construction?
Well, we do have a great comprehensive list at the website, nait.ca. Off the top of my head, I would say that we have HVAC, carpentry, and as you mentioned at the top of the spot, the roofers that keep our heads covered.
Thanks, Nigel. That's Nigel Gale reporting live from NAIT's carpentry shop tonight.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
An ongoing development between Loblaws and the consumer is resulting in a price freeze across Canada. Loblaws announced this past Monday that they will be pausing prices on their no-name products in response to inflation at grocery stores. Many Canadians, including Edmontonians, are grateful for the company's decision.
I've really noticed the difference, especially when Dad has to pay me for the groceries I buy for him.
Right now, we've got 2 young kids, and I'm a nurse and he's a teacher, and our wages aren't going up, but groceries are. So yeah, we got 2 hungry little kiddos to feed.
We're moving to Eastern Europe because it's cheaper to live there for us.
The pause in prices will apply to more than 1,500 products, and the freeze will remain until January 31st of 2023.
It's influenza season in Alberta, and vaccines are rolling out. Alberta has started its influenza campaign, trying to get as many people vaccinated for influenza and COVID at the same time. Trying to avoid a twindemic, Alberta is avoiding the outbreak of influenza and COVID-19. Vaccines rolled out this Monday and are available for appointment bookings right now.
So the mutations changes and so the virulence. So that's the reason it's very essential to take vaccine every year. So to have additional protection from the flu virus.
As influenza mutates, so does COVID. You can book your flu shots through most public health clinics. Also ask your pharmacist about the COVID-19 booster shot with no extra appointment. Vaccines are available at most pharmacies, and children 6 months to 5 years old are also eligible for shots. Construction delays are still affecting the new Valley Line LRT route. The construction around the new Valley Line LRT route is still underway due to damaged piers. Construction blocks off many roads and routes in Edmonton, such as 156th Street, Stony Plain Road, and 87th Avenue. But for people taking public transport, the delays will be quite a bit longer than what was expected.
Yes, actually. It makes it a lot more longer because I had to take the bus all the way to Davies, and then from Davies I have to walk to school. But I mean, I would have to walk regardless, but the LRT would make it a lot easier.
The City of Edmonton expects the new line to be opened in the second phase of 2027. That being 5 years away, citizens who take public transport will have to keep waiting for the city to catch up.
Edmonton's downtown core has earned itself a new look with the official opening of the Ice District Plaza.
Let's go Oilers!
This past Saturday, Edmontonians gathered together to celebrate the grand opening of the Ice District Plaza ahead of the Battle of Alberta game. The celebration included a variety of games and prizes, live music, and of course, community.
We have a game like we do tonight, and people buy tickets and come and enjoy it. That's really important. But there's so many people that don't have tickets that just see this as an opportunity then to be able to explore the different restaurants and nightlife that we have here. So that's really important.
The Ice District is expected to bring Edmonton's downtown core back to life, attracting millions of more people to the city. Coming up after the break, we have the top response to last week's question of the week.
We'll also show how the weather will shake down this weekend, and we'll take a dive into the world of sports.
Hi there, I'm CJ Pirtle with NAIT NewsWatch. Coming up this week in sports, we take a look at the NAIT Ooks volleyball and hockey upcoming seasons, and the Edmonton South Soccer Center gets an expansion.
I'm Lena Stevens, and with temperatures dropping the further we get into the fall season, is it time to bust out those winter jackets? We'll have that and more after the break.
With us being weeks into the fall season already, many people are curious when the snow's gonna come.
That's right, Reese. Personally, I'm not excited for the cold, neither am I preparing for it. But our Lena Stevens will keep us updated on the new upcoming forecast.
Thanks, guys. Well, it's looking like it's finally that time of year again. The leaves are falling, it's getting cooler, and we have to start preparing for the S word, snow. Temperatures across Alberta are starting to get a little bit chillier. Starting in Calgary, we have a high of 10 and a low of -2. It's a cloudy day with 60% chance of rain and flurries. And for Calgary, sorry guys, I know the Flames lost last night, but now you're gonna have to deal with the snow too. Heading over to Jasper, we have a high of 6 and a low of -6. Mix of sun and cloud with 20% chance of precipitation. Over to Fort McMurray, we have a high of 7 and a low of 0. Another cloudy day for Fort Mac and 40% chance of showers, so don't forget your umbrellas, Fort Mac. Here in Edmonton, we have a high of 9 and a low of -3. Mix of sun and clouds to try to squeeze out those last few days of sunshine with 20% chance of precipitation. The Edmonton average high is 6 and the Edmonton average low is -2. And our Edmonton record high is 21, and man, do I wish it was 21 degrees out here today, with a record of -10 for the low. And that's our weather.
NewsWatch weather sponsored by NR92, Campus Radio.
Now it's time for the question of the week, and we've partnered up with the NAIT Nugget to hear your voice in issues that affect you.
And voicing your thoughts might win you a prize.
But first, congrats to last week's winner, Ashley, regarding the cancellation of the advanced road test. She says that this is great news. Coming from a small town, I can't take the advanced road test, and it takes a long time to get used to driving in a bigger place. I also have put it off because I don't see a large benefit in upgrading my license. Although, I'm relieved that I don't have to take another test and spend $150. I feel like there should be additional measures put in place, like other provinces. Congratulations, Ashley.
Now here is the question of the week for this week. The Southwest Valley Line LRT opening is pushed back due to the concrete cracks. How do you feel about the delay? You can submit your answers by going to the NAIT Nuggets Instagram page at the NAIT Nugget and comment your thoughts, and they will pick a random winner for next week's show. Our NAIT Ooks volleyball and hockey teams are just beginning brand new hopeful seasons.
Plus, an expansion for an Edmonton soccer center and a scandal surrounding the MacEwan University soccer. CJ Pirtle is here with sports.
Thanks, guys. NAIT Ooks volleyball has officially served its first set beginning on Friday against the King's University. The NAIT Ooks battled the King's University Eagles last weekend with one home game on Friday and one away on Saturday. Although fighting to the bitter end, the Ooks were swept away by the Eagles, losing all 6 sets they played. Despite being 0-2 on the season, players say they have high hopes to improve.
So far, so good, actually. We had a really good preseason tournament. There's lots of hope for this year, a lot better than last year. We can only go up. We got a lot of new faces, and I think they will add a lot of competition to our lineup.
The Ooks play Lakeland College this weekend. You can catch them at home tomorrow at 6 p.m. The NAIT Ooks men's hockey team is looking to stay on top as a new season begins. After winning the championship last season, the men's hockey team is back at it again with a lot of new faces. 13 new rookies will take to the ice for the Ooks this season, hoping to capitalize on the team's momentum.
It's going to be a lot of hard work. Last year we had a lot of returning guys and pretty strong team. So this year I think bottom line is we got to have some hard-working players on our team and earn it this year.
The Ooks home opener is tonight at the NAIT Arena at 7 p.m. against Concordia University. The MacEwan University women's soccer team ran into a huge scandal last weekend, which caused the team to forfeit their season. Following a release on Monday, MacEwan University found that one of the players on their women's soccer team was deemed to be ineligible to play. After a hearing with U Sports on Sunday morning, it was decided that MacEwan would forfeit the 9 wins in the 11 matches the students played. The Griffins will now miss the playoffs and the chance to repeat their national championship from last year. Canada West Managing Director Rocky Olfort says that it was purely an error that slipped through the cracks. Griffins management say that they are heartbroken and gutted by the news. Edmonton's soccer community has something to cheer about following the grand opening of 2 brand new indoor fields.
1, 2, 3.
That was the ceremonial first kick of the Edmonton South Soccer Centre's 2 new fields. After over 19 months of construction, the facility is finally here, offering 2 kinds of arenas for children and adults, one with artificial grass and one with a gray concrete floor.
In the case of concrete sports, this project doubles Edmonton's indoor capacity. We know this will have an immediate impact. Supporting a healthy, growing population is important to our community, and the expansion encourages active living year-round.
A facility such as this one will be able to support not only a growing Edmonton population, but also a thriving soccer community in our city. My heart just breaks for those MacEwan players, but at least we have something to look forward to.
Oh, 100%. Honestly, I'm super excited to see how our 2 volleyball teams match up. It's something that I think I might tune into.
Yeah, I'm not one for hockey, but I wish them all the best in their home opener tonight. Thanks, CJ.
Thank you.
Coming up after the break, we check out some spooky things to do to celebrate this Halloween season.
And we take a look at a new way of golfing.
Absolutely, because it gives you complete feedback. It tells you, even if you're playing a game, not just using the range, but if you're playing a game, you can see how far you've hit.
Coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at some local events you can check out to get your spook in before the end of the month. Stay tuned.
NewsWatch music provided by Martin Mayer Productions.
Welcome back to NAIT NewsWatch. It is now time for our Try This segment.
Our Rodby Barnechea goes to try out a simulator to avoid the cold and to try to keep his game on par.
I'm Robbie Barnechea. With the golf season ending outside, it's not yet over for me as we move it indoors. I'm here to try out golf sims. And since we don't have to worry about the Alberta weather, we'll dress to perform. Let's get started. Every bay has its own projector, and these red lights tell you when you can swing. Each system also lets you pick which course you want to play. So of course, I choose where to go. Tiger Woods won the 2008 US Open. Torrey Pines Golf Course. Barnechea teeing off. Smooth, easy swing that's at least 300 yards. Approach 8-iron from 200 yards. And a slight chip. Alright, time to putt. Wish me luck, let's see how this goes. Ooh, and it goes terribly. Yeah, I gotta work on that. Fellow golfer Terry sees these golf sims as a great place for rookies to get started.
Absolutely, because it gives you complete feedback. It tells you, even if you're playing a game, not just using the range, but if you're playing a game, you can see how far you've hit. You can see where you are on the course, and there are tons of courses to choose from. So that part is really good. If you see behind me, there's tons of information, and it gets you to refine your game. With the winter league starting in a few weeks' time, I'm wanting to get back into proper form again.
The accuracy of the technology is up to date.
So the last update we did was actually in this week here, but they get updated every few months or so. Depends on when E6 sends us the updates and they do their side of things. But I would say probably every 2 or 3 months.
Overall, I think indoor simulation golf is really fun and it's a great substitution for outdoor golf. And I'm Robbie Barnechea with NAIT NewsWatch. And I also really have to work on my game. And I hate this game.
Wow, that's a great idea for someone wanting to work on their par all year round.
It definitely is, Zach.
Joining us now in studio is Caitlin Laponte to tell us more about the entertainment happening this week.
Thanks, guys. Now, looking into the local drag community, last Friday at Evolution Wonder Lounge marked the 7th installment of Party Queens, Gemma's Dollhouse, Slay Them.
I love shouting, who thinks I should go to federal prison for this outfit?
Hosted by Gemini, this is a bi-monthly show that is all about trans, non-binary, and two-spirit performers. It featured many local queens, as well as 2 out-of-town special guests, Veronica Vixen and She-Foam.
The show is going to feature a bunch of awesome group numbers. There's original music that we've recorded that's being performed, and we're also doing a finale number where all the tips that we collect is going to go to, yes, the Youth Empowerment Services Shelter.
Once the donation goal is reached, they'll continue to pick other organizations to raise money for. Party Queens have a bunch of events coming up, including Eva Destruction tonight and Scream Royale on October 31st. You can get tickets in advance on eventbrite.ca. If local history mixed with some ghost stories and an evening walk sounds like a good time, then the Old Strathcona Ghost Tours might be for you.
She goes back to a real murder that happened at this hotel.
These ghost tours take you to multiple locations, each with its own story. The tour starts off at the Walterdale Theatre, which used to be one of Strathcona's first volunteer fire halls back in the early 1900s. Some other notable places on this tour include Old Scona Academic and the Princess Theatre, which has its own Woman in White story.
We stop in front of certain houses, shops, and buildings that have reported ghosts, hauntings, murders, mysteries, Lots of great stories that I pull from our historical records. But some of my best stories come from the people who live and work in the very areas that we're going to be talking about.
The tour runs until the end of November, and you can purchase tickets on their website at edmontonghosttours.com. It's getting dark in Edmonton, and shadows are lurking. With it, you'll never know what you might stumble upon. Fort Edmonton is back with its 5th installment of its Haunt Festival. Dark is back this month with plenty of scares to go around. From the moment you walk in, you are greeted by clowns and other terrifying characters. This year features 3 main haunts, as well as a graveyard, and performers in the Midway area.
We've got about 250 people that help us do this. We've got about 100 scare actors that are in each of the 3 haunts, plus people in the scare zones. We've got our technical crew, our production team, our artistic team, creative direction team. So a lot of folks come together to make our Dark Festival a success.
In order to experience everything Dark has to offer, you'll need to dedicate an evening to it because there's just so much to do.
Wow, I'm definitely gonna have to check out Dark. That looked like a lot of fun.
And the ghost tours look super interesting. That's something I'd want to check out in October.
Right? Like, it was so much fun. Like, I loved it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Of course.
From all of us here at NAIT NewsWatch, thank you for watching. You can catch our next show on October 28th.
Or you can visit us online at naitnewswatch.ca. Have a great weekend, everybody.